Mr. Speaker, will you please call the House to order?
The House will come to order. In the absence of clergy, let us pause for a moment of silence. Visitors are invited to join the members in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Morelli. A quorum being present, the clerk will read the Journal of Wednesday, May 4th. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I move to dispense with the further reading of the Journal of Wednesday, May 4th, and that the same stand approved.
Without objection, so ordered. Mr. Morelli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to begin, as I do each day, with a little tour of history on this day. We begin our little tour in the borough of the Bronx, where in 1922, on this day, construction began on a 10-acre lumber yard in the Bronx on what would become the original Yankee Stadium. On this day in 1809, Mary Dixon, Mr. Sepulveda is very excited about that, and we appreciate his excitement. On this day in 1809, Mary Dixon Keyes became the first woman to apply for and receive a United States patent. She invented a technique of weaving straw and silk with thread to make hats. And on this day in 1862, the Mexican army defeated the French forces in the Battle of Puebla. The victory is celebrated every year as the day of the Battle of Puebla in the Mexican state in which the battle took place. While there is limited recognition of that celebration in other parts of Mexico, it is widely celebrated in the United States as Cinco de Mayo. So happy Cinco de Mayo to all of my colleagues. As for our schedule of the day, members have on their desks a main calendar, and after any introductions, and I note there are a number of any housekeeping as well, we will continue our work on consent, beginning with calendar number 511, and we'll otherwise work from the calendar as time permits. Members should be aware that we will be conducting our traditional West Point Day celebration today at noon. So with that as a general outline, Mr. Speaker, again, if there are introductions and housekeeping, this would be the appropriate time.
For the purposes of an introduction, Mr. Dendecker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to interrupt the proceedings for an introduction. We have with us some very distinguished members that I'd like to introduce from the Military Order of the Purple Heart. First, we have Mr. Scott Kyle, the commander of Chapter 446. With him, we also have Don Leinfelder, who's the adjunct for Chapter 446, as well as our very own Wayne Jackson, the Sergeant at Arms for Chapter 446. The Military Order of the Purple Heart is made up of recipients of the Purple Heart. They are here for their state convention this weekend. I ask that you please give them the privileges of the floor, the cordialities of the House, and I think we all should be in awe of the service that they have provided to our great state and our country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Dendecker, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We applaud and commend your bravery and your work that you have done to protect and preserve freedom in this country. Please always be welcome, and we will always be supportive. Thank you so very much. Mr. Barkley for an introduction.
Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to interrupt the proceedings for the purposes of an introduction. You know, Mr. Speaker, it's always nice to have constituents come visit us in Albany, and I'm particularly honored today to have some students. It's really a pleasure to have students come. I have the 4th grade Granby Elementary School class here. They're on a field trip. They've come to Albany to learn a little bit of what we do down here. So we have about 80 students, I think, here, Mr. Speaker. They're joined by their teachers. We have Linda DeForest, Amanda Barber, Terry Van Buren, and Julie Wood are their teachers and chaperones on this trip. I would ask that if you could give them the courtesies of the House and welcome them here, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Barkley, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome this 4th grade class here to the New York State Assembly. We hope that you have enjoyed the trip here to Albany, that you will enjoy being a part of the proceedings as we move on today. And most of all, we hope that you will continue to pursue and excel in your education. And be assured that you have made Mr. Barkley, who this week has had his father up, and now he's having a banner week himself, very happy that you've taken the time to come and visit, and that is to both students, parents, and teachers. Thank you so much for your work. Mr. Morelli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we could begin our work on page 3 of the main calendar, we're going to begin with Assembly Resolution 1280 by Mr. Dendecker.
Clerk will read.
Resolution number 1280, Mr. Dendecker, legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim New York State as a Purple Heart State.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1281, Mrs. Gunther, legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim May 5th, 2016 as Children's Mental Health Awareness Day in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1282, Mr. Titone, legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim May 1st through the 7th, 2016 as Juror Appreciation Week in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1283, Mr. Tedisco, legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim May 2nd through the 6th, 2016 as Teacher Appreciation Week in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1284, Ms. Lepardo, legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim May 2016 as Prader-Willi Syndrome Awareness Month in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1285, Mr. McDonald, legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim May 2016 as Neurofibromatosis Awareness Month in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 1286, Mrs. Mayor, Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim May 2016 as Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month in the state of New York.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, sir. On page 45 of the main calendar, I'd like to begin with calendar number 511 by Mr. Hevesy.
Clerk will read.
Assembly 8076B, calendar number 511, Mr. Hevesy, an act to amend the insurance law.
The bill is laid aside. On a motion by Mr. Hevesy, the Senate bill is before the House. The Senate bill is advanced. The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 8092, calendar number 512, Ms. Nolan, an act to amend the education law.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 9406, calendar 514, Mr. Blake, an act to amend the correction law.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 9450, calendar 515, Ms. Glick, an act to amend Chapter 192 of the laws of 2011.
On a motion by Ms. Glick, the Senate bill is before the House. The Senate bill is advanced. Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is our first vote of the day. I note that the base is still a little lighter than we would like it. If you're not here and you know who you are, please make your way over for our first vote of the day.
First vote of the day. In the sound of our voices, please, members, come to the chambers and cast your vote. If you are here, vote now. Thank you very much. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 114, noes 0.
The bill is passed. Mr. McKevitt.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of Mr. Butler, we actually have a number of students today from the Government Intern Program of the Cornell University Cooperative Extension of Herkimer County. The purpose of the program is to visit types of government agencies and government offices and find about the work that's done, and they've taken the privilege of visiting us today in order to go and see how our operations go. So they are accompanied by Wendy Richardson, who is the 4-H program educator for the program, as well as Herkimer County legislator Peter Mano, who operates as an advisor to the group. And they come from the Herkimer, Doesville, Frankfurt Schuyler, Webb, Central Valley, and Poland school districts. So I'd ask you very kindly to give a warm welcome to these government students.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Butler, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome these distinguished students, legislators, and staff here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We hope that your time here today in Albany will be educational and instructive and maybe even a little fun. We hope that you will come back and join us and be successful in your future careers. Thank you so very much. Clerk will read.
Assembly 9480, Calendar 516, Ms. Jean-Pierre, an act to amend Chapter 526 of the laws of 1998.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 106, noes 0.
The bill is passed. Mr. McKevitt.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I'm here to interrupt the proceedings for another introduction, this time on behalf of Mr. Tedisco. Joining Mr. Tedisco is Denise Krohn, who is a teacher from the Amsterdam Middle School. She's here with her son, Jake, her sister, Michelle Van Wermer, and Ray Lynn Bradigan of the Animal Protective Foundation of Scotia, of which Jake Krohn is also an employee. They're here to inform the members of the legislature and here in honor of their beloved dogs, Kirby and Quigley, who were killed this past year during a home invasion. So again, please go and welcome them to this floor and again for their advocacy today.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Tedesco, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly, to the People's House. We extend to you the privileges of the floor and hope that your day here in Albany will be beneficial and hopefully advance your cause. Thank you very much.
Assembly 9507, Calendar 517, Mr. Gottfried, an act to amend the public health law.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 9643, Calendar 518, Ms. Hunter, an act to amend Chapter 274 of the laws of 2010.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. I don't know. Check and see. I don't think so. I think we did her once before.